The trial that's happening over in Colorado to determine whether former President Donald Trump would be taken off of the state 2024 GOP primary ballot has been going. I feel like I need a graphic of like all of the different places that Trump is on trial and what they are, and just be like, lay it out on the screen and be like, this one is the one we're talking about today, because it can get confusing with all of these different charges that they're throwing his way. But this one, of course, is to get him taken off of the primary ballot. And it's been fascinating reading about this. There was one particular expert. Expert. Dr. Peter Simi, he's a sociology professor at Chapman University, and he got on the stand to talk about, yes, far-right extremism. He is the expert. He has been studying it for more than 20 years. And I want you guys to know that this guy, expert, okay, he testified today that Trump has actually called for violence. And he hasn't seen another American political figure endorse violence the way that Trump has. And then the court saw this clip in particular. Watch.
I think one of our great achievements will be election security, because nobody until I came along had any idea how corrupt our elections were. And again, most people would stand there at 9 o'clock in the evening and say, I want to thank you very much. And they go off to some other life. But I said, something's wrong here. Something's really wrong. Can't have happened. And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Oh no. Well, that couldn't have been metaphorical. He clearly was calling for violence. And by the way, no one on the left has ever called for any sort of violence or taking to the streets or getting up in Trump supporters' faces. That's never happened.
No.
It's not like there are 25-minute videos online of different clips of all of these left-leaning politicians literally calling for violence, literally
and celebrities.
Calling for them to take
Johnny
to the streets.
Depp asking when last was a president
Yes.
assassinated.
Yes.
Madonna.
Yeah, Kathy Griffin holding up a beheaded.
Maxine
Waters. You can go on and on and on. I mean, not one, hundreds.
Yes, but oh my gosh, the president saying fight like hell.
In the words of Chris Cuomo, when are these ever supposed to be, nonviolent? Where does it say that? Any of these movements?
That's a great point. Well, when it comes to Black Lives Matter, that only applies to Black Lives Matter. Yeah. That doesn't apply to anything else.
It's interesting they didn't continue that clip, because literally just a few seconds after that, he was like, all right, I know you're going to go protest. Do it peacefully
and patriotically. Make your voices heard.
That kind of blows up the entire thing.
Right, but and that's what I'm saying. But that's the clip that they played, right? And by the way, I just want to play as well the Colorado Secretary of State, who said, this was on Fox News, I believe. She's like, listen, don't worry, this is not election interference, putting all this out, trying to get him off the ballot. There's no election interference going on here, guys. Watch.
Having a court weigh in when there is reason to weigh in is exactly how our system should work. Filing a case because there's questions about the U.S. Constitution is not election interference. It's abiding by a society that puts laws over strongmen, insurrectionists, and rebellion.
But you're labeling him, oh, you're so fair. Oh, you're moral high horse, you righteous idiot, self-righteous idiot. You're so fair that in the moment you call him an insurrectionist, you call him all these things, but it's balanced, guys. It's fair and balanced. We're just going to go to the court. Never mind that the court's completely swayed to the left, that the judge is bought off, that the DA is as corrupt as Joe Biden himself, right? Forget about all that. It's fair, because we tell you now for the moment, it's fair. We're going to take the insurrectionist and let the court decide if he actually is. Where's innocent until proven guilty? You've never had facts on this man, not an iota, nothing, zilts. But they're not going to stop. If it's not, take him off the ballot. Now you have to go. Now Trump's whole team had to fly to Colorado and go fight. It's distraction.
Use the F word.
Oh, no.
Buddy. Can we strike that?
Let me tell you something.
Oh, no.
For violence
Oh,
here.
no.
You better fight. Moms better fight. You better fight for your freedom in this country. You're going to lose it. But now they've got to go get this right to be on the ballot And then if it doesn't go well, you'll watch the other states. So it's impeach him here. If you can't impeach him, accuse him here, get documents from his home. Heck, see if he wears the right shoes. If not, go after these companies. Go after these children's companies. Just, it is a whatever mentality. At all cost, whatever. Get him disqualified.
That's absolutely the plan. You're exactly right, Jaco. It's to get it done wherever they can get it done first, and then use that as kind of like a case law type thing, and let it cascade to as many states. I love the fact where she's like, yeah, this is not election interference. It's just when you show up for election day, you can't vote for him. I mean, election interference used to be more subtle. Right. It was quiet.
Right.
You know, it was like that dirty joke that you don't want, your kids to hear. You did it. You whispered about it. Now it's just like, there you go.
I love that she's like, well, no, we just want to make sure that all of our lawmakers are like following laws and that there's no corruption and that everyone's by the book. It's like, really? Because I seem to recall a certain president who made a phone call trying to make sure that everyone was playing by the book, and you impeached him over it. Yep. So I really don't think that you guys give a crap about making sure that all the rules are followed, because that kind of was what he was doing. And you impeached him over the phone call. Weird.
This is my frustration. Even as I talked to you guys offline on a situation yesterday, we never play to this level. Not that we have to stoop down to their immorality, but play to win. Expose all their true corruption. Expose, and you say, well, Jaco, we do. Not these kind of people. They walk away. The Faucis are still walking away from there. It's easy to go after Joe Biden. It's easy to defend a Joe Biden from their perspective. But we have to create, we have to create an avalanche like they do. They play by a different metric. They band together. They sing from one book. They get scripted. They have a cohesive strategy. Their call to action is infinitely more cohesive than the Republicans' call to action. Republicans don't have a clear call to action, county to county, state to state. It is a hodgepodge approach to a common goal, right? They are nefarious. They have a single vision. They serve Satan, number one, and then they go. And that's who played the clip? I think it was Benny Johnson the other day that said again, here's why I don't trust the media. And it was just news anchors repeating the same phrase.
Yeah.
And we've seen it 100 times over the years, but it's still there.
Yeah.
And the American people consume it and go, yeah, that's kind of bad. They won't stop. I always say Satan doesn't self-correct. You cut his head off. You cut the head off the snake. You don't ask the snake not to bite.
Yeah.
You know what? One of the humongous mistakes and miscalculations I see on where we are today is when Trump said, lock her up, the entire country wanted to see her pay for some of her crimes. Then when he got into office, he just forgave it. And basically said, well, that was a campaign thing I used to get elected.
Bad.
Well, so we saw that. We kind of just let it slide. The left saw that, did not let that slide. So ever since then, they heard the chance of lock her up, and they were like, okay, that's exactly what we're going to do to you.
But they'll follow through.
And all your supporters, and they'll follow through.
They follow through. They play to win.
Yes. And there are no rules.
We play to play.
By the rules. Right. Right. Exactly.
If you like that clip, there is plenty more where that came from. Click the link in the description below to subscribe to the News and Why It Matters YouTube channel to watch the full episode.